Some verses in the Quran concerning the creation of the heavens and the earth may initially seem contradictory. However, when we examine these verses both in their original Arabic and within their conceptual context, we see not contradiction, but rather a sequential and complementary order in the narrative. In Surah Fussilat, it is stated that the earth was created in 2 days, then mountains were set upon it, and provisions necessary for life were determined. These processes altogether took 4 days. Then the divine command turned to the sky, which was at that time in the form of smoke, and both the sky and the earth were told, "Come willingly or unwillingly." They both replied, "We come willingly." Thus the heavens were formed into 7 layers in 2 days. Fussilat 9-12. This narrative indicates that the creation of the earth preceded that of the heavens, or more precisely, the atmosphere. A similar emphasis is found in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 29, which says, "It is He who created for you all that is in the earth. Then He turned to the heaven and fashioned it into 7 heavens. And He has knowledge of all things." Yet for some readers, the wording in Surah An-Nazi'at, verses 27-30, can seem confusing. Are you more difficult to create or the heaven? He constructed it. He raised its canopy and proportioned it. He darkened its night and brought forth its daylight. Then after that, He spread out the earth. Dehāhā. At first glance, these verses might suggest that the atmosphere was created first, and only afterward the earth was spread out. But the key lies in the specific verbs used. While Fussilat and Al-Baqarah employ words like Halaka, to create, and Qadara, to determine or proportion, An-Nazi'at uses the verb Dehāhā, which does not refer to creation, but rather to shaping or forming. Overlooking this linguistic nuance might lead one to mistakenly assume a contradiction. The term Dehāhā is derived from the root dahav, which means to spread out, to arrange, or to level, yet not in a simple or random fashion. It connotes a purposeful, structured spreading. In Arabic, this root is also used to describe the shallow nest formed by an ostrich using its feet to clear and level the sand, a process that involves both smoothing and shaping. The term even carries connotations of roundness and regular surface formation. Therefore, when verse 30 says, "He spread out the earth," Dehāhā, it is not referring to the act of creating the earth, but to the act of giving it its final form, its shaping and arrangement. This demonstrates that the Quran is not presenting a contradiction, but rather describing a sequence: first creation, then refinement. When we compare this with scientific data, the distinction becomes remarkably accurate. The formation of the earth was a process. Initially formed from clouds of gas and dust, the young earth gradually took shape through gravitational forces. Its surface cooled, its crust solidified, the atmosphere formed, tectonic activity began, mountains arose, water cycles were established, and eventually the surface became habitable. Clearly, a time gap exists between creation and full formation. The Quran acknowledges this gradual process. Fussilat describes the general stages of creation, while An-Nazi'at highlights the final stages of structuring. Additionally, the word samk, translated as canopy or roof, in An-Nazi'at 28 refers to the heavens, which in the Quranic worldview often points to the atmosphere. This aligns with how modern science sees Earth's atmosphere, a protective ceiling or dome surrounding the planet. The verse's language mirrors this understanding. Human history also shows a similar progression of understanding. Early civilizations believed the Earth was flat. Later, philosophers like Pythagoras and Ptolemy proposed a spherical Earth, though within a geocentric model. Galileo was the first to clearly argue for a heliocentric, spherical Earth. Eventually, it was discovered that Earth isn't a perfect sphere, but rather an oblate spheroid, flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. Modern science now uses the term geoid to describe the Earth's true shape. Furthermore, scientists acknowledge that the Earth is still undergoing structural changes due to various forces such as gravity, centrifugal force, tectonic activity, erosion, and ocean currents. In this context, the verb Dehāhā appears to reflect not just a past event, but an ongoing process of shaping and adjustment. In summary, in Fussilat and Al-Baqarah, the sequence of creation is clearly given. The Earth first, then the atmosphere, fully consistent with modern scientific understanding. An-Nazi'at describes not the creation of the Earth, but its shaping and structuring. The difference between the verbs Halaka, to create, and Dehāhā, to shape, shows that these verses complement each other rather than contradict. Scientific evidence aligns closely with this Qur'anic framework of creation, followed by gradual formation. The Qur'an's account of creation is not merely historical or literary. It presents a multi-layered message that transcends time. Today, what we scientifically know about the Earth's formation, its atmosphere, and the ongoing shaping of its surface is reflected in these verses, both linguistically and conceptually. The Qur'an draws attention to creation with Halaka and to structuring with Dehāhā, offering a sequential and semantically rich narrative. What's more, this narrative aligns strikingly with discoveries in modern geology and cosmology, fields of knowledge that were inaccessible to the people of the 7th century. Taken together, these insights suggest that the Qur'an's message and structure are far from coincidental. Rather, they are meticulously arranged, systemically precise, and divinely inspired. If you'd like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support motivates us to continue producing meaningful content. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.